Thank you for that. A suspected extremist is accused of breaking into an upscale home and trying to claim it for himself. Garnett Radcliffe Campbell Jr. is charged tonight with attempting to intimidate law enforcement by a sham legal process, burglary, and simple larceny. Tonight, the sovereign citizen group he claims to belong to is being watched by the FBI. News 4's Angela Rodriguez is live and local tonight. She's outside the Pickens County Law Enforcement Center. Angela, the home is in one of the Cliffs communities, right?
Michael, it's a pricey home. It comes with a $2.5 million price tag. It's in foreclosure. Investigators say basically this man forced his way into the home and put up his own sign proclaiming that as of April 11th, 2012, the house was seized. Well, the realtor who went to check on the home saw this sign and called in deputies. South Carolina is known for the view, high-end golf courses, and posh homes. Investigators say Garnett Radcliffe Campbell Jr. was trying to carve out his own life of luxury in this Cliffs community.
All indications are that he had been in contact with some folks, but we believe he did work alone in trying to seize this property.
In late April, a realtor checking on the foreclosed property spotted this sign, claiming the property under international law. Campbell, who also goes by the name Noble Yeshua B. Al-Nina El, is accused of being an American sovereignist.
Please explain to me what the hell an American sovereignist is. What is an American sovereignist? No, I'm a Moor. What are they talking about? People are crazy.
The FBI and local investigators call sovereignists a significant threat.
Now, I'm only going to assume that a sovereignist is somebody that is aware of what sovereignty is and its relationship to national principle. But in the context that they put it, it seems like they're talking about something negative. But I guess that would be a threat to individuals and entities that exist for the sole purpose of selling human beings, trading in humans, which equals human trafficking. So if you're a human trafficker, then I would assume that somebody that's aware of sovereignty and sovereignty principles is absolutely a threat to that.
Their domestic terrorism, I think, is how they term it. So it's just something that we need to be mindful of. It's something we really didn't have to deal with 30 years ago, but there is a presence in society now.
Investigators say pots and pans along with cleaning supplies were found in the home, but they do not believe the suspect ever moved in. The realtor, Scott Garland, told News 4 he was notified by the FBI that the house was on a list of possible targets by American sovereignists. According to an FBI bulletin, individuals who call themselves sovereign citizens believe that federal, state, and local governments operate illegally. Terry Nichols is an infamous sovereignist. He is currently serving life in prison for his role in the Oklahoma City bombing that killed 168 people. Campbell has already bonded out of the Pickens County Detention Center, but tonight he is in the Greenville County Detention Center. He was booked on an outstanding warrant charge, and we're told that he could face federal charges as well. Angela Rodriguez, WYFF News 4, live tonight in Pickens County.
Angela,
and so on, but I find that real interesting that they would go so far as to put me in the same box as somebody like Terry Nichols. Like, are you serious? You can't be serious.
Islam. For the record, I would like to state that violations that have continued to occur to abridge my rights inspired me to put this all together. Inspired me to invest in my own media equipment and the ability to tell my own story, being that, as you can see in the previous clip, I am a victim of libel. I find it real interesting that adults that claim to be competent have a hard time comprehending the fact that the U.S. is only but a corporation and not a country. Here's a shot I happened to just come across one day watching Bloomberg television. And as you can see, this is from the Supreme Court. I believe those are some Supreme Court justices. I can't give you their names, but what's interesting is you should read the quote underneath them. Now, the quote is from a Samuel J. Tilden. I looked the full quote up because that's not actually the full quote. But the quote that they used and put on television is very telling, and I suggest that everybody research the full comment made. As a conscious Moor, I like to get my travel on. I'm real comfortable exercising my right to travel, which is a birthright, whether that be on a skateboard or hanging out in the mountains, working out in the mountains, exploring the forests. And there is absolutely no entity on the planet that has the right to abridge that. So while I'm traveling around, there's people going through a lot of real situations. There's a lot of awake Moors out here that, like one of my relatives who had to go do a few months, approximately 12 months in the federal system. And he just came back in end of January, and here's a little testimony about that.
How you doing, fam?
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. What's good with you?
You feel me?
You good?
Yeah.
You sure?
I already know.
You positive? You good?
Big official.
What's good though?
Man, look.
What'd she tell you before you went to court? Because I remember her saying something to you before, and I'm talking about your lawyer.
Right. You remember she was telling me that it would be a good chance that I didn't leave.
Yeah. So what happened when you went to court?
Went to court and I was by myself, of course, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went up in front of Timothy M.K., dude was like, yo, I'm gonna sentence you to 24 months in the BOP. And with that, he was like, yo, no, this shit's been going on too long. Like, there's no self-surrender. Like, we're gonna start this today.
Huh.
So, you know, like, I've been gone since February 9th until return to January 29th this year.
State your name for the record.
So you already know it's Julius L. Bay.
Okay. So, because I mentioned some shit about Anderson and some legal documents I got going on right now. So, it's the same shit going on over there?
Fugazi, everything.
Huh. Like no access to nothing legal.
Legal bail, the attorney visits are getting snapped. Like if you ain't got a court date, they ain't trying to holler at you. And it's like the day before, day of. You know, especially with them, they ain't got no law library, no way to research your case, study your case, know what's going on with your case.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you only know what they let you know.
Mm.
So, in a situation like that, like a wise man knows not to be blind.
True. Yeah. Like, what's going on inside there right now?
Like the BOP?
Yeah, what's the mind, like the people on, like all that kind.
They're confused. COs, the wardens, like the ones that's running the whole thing, you know, they lacking. They ain't doing what they're supposed to do. And it was funny because, like, I was just looking on the news when I was, like, hollering at my boy. He was like, yo, Atlanta just got locked down, like, a few days after you left for the phones and shit on the compound. Because, dude, there was a Muslim cat at the prison that he went on Facebook Live and he was like boasting about a murder he got away with and shit like that.
Oh.
So like they came and like hammered down and did it on Facebook Live and they know where he was
where he's
coming
at.
from.
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
Yeah, of course, dummy move.
Damn.
Like off top.
So he would be somebody who would be classified as a black, like NBC, what we call a Negro colored black or whatever, but he Muslim.
Right. Just found out about that like a few days ago.
Anything Moorish going on in there? Like
They do. They have a temple going on, you know.
But what is it like? Is it on some church time, or they not talking about nothing substantial, right?
They really more like on the whole message to a black man type movement, which is,
so it's like mixing and mingling the Nation of Islam with the Moorish temple and okay.
Like that.
Huh, interesting.
It's better than the normal.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It still has some truths, but
they're not dealing with the whole, like, the root of the issue and all that. Okay.
They're not dealing with that.
Yeah,
they really just start with the basis, the things that are supposed to be common sense that aren't so common.
Okay.
You feel me?
And you left when? You said February 9th? Okay,
this
so
is my last stop, by the way.
So now let me put you on February the 24th. Boom, like I'm in the cut. I'm here. I happen to be on the phone talking. Well, actually, no. The county. So now tell them how we give it up. Like when they bring I felt like, because I've been to every other location, like we not
dealing with him.
Exactly.
No, breaking the doors.
So boom. They take me over there. I've never been over there before. So they got me like couple of days and I'm not in the computer. Like people on the outside like, yo, we can't even find you on the computer. Like, you know. Everybody in there, first of all, was on some like psych me out on some they got me in a section where it's all extradition cases, like where they got issues somewhere else or with a different agency and they waiting to get transported or whatever. So they like, yo, they got 20 days to come get you and all. I'm like, fuck out of here. Like, I'm not gonna be here 20 days. Like, that's crazy. Like, I don't know what's going on, but this is crazy right now. Yeah, so like, third night. So this happened on a Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, Monday night. I'm in the building like heated, what's going on type vibe, whatever, right? So early morning steez, I didn't even know what time it was before breakfast or whatever. So I jump up, I'm on the kiosk, complaint, legal notice shit, you know what I'm saying? Boom, nice little pamphlet. And then one of the cats that I met in there, like I was building with, I was like, yo, come here, read this. Read this shit, and then like within 2 hours, they out the building, bro.
They kicked you out.
They got them people, whoever, you know, I'm gonna explain what happened later.
So they wanted to get
like, yo, look at his face.
You
like
wanted to get
like, yo, same players, yo, for real. So when I get into the courtroom, it's called in, step, none of the Caucasian judges, none of the European judges, or quote unquote judges. It was they try to put me on probation, bro.
No.
Like real shit. Like so
but
now.
Didn't the guy tell you that like this is over with? Like
what
get
did
him
the
out of
old
the court.
man say?
The old
so
man
let me
said,
tell you.
What do you want? And he said, I want to go home.
Let me tell. Forth and so on, but I find that real interesting that they would go so far as to put me in the same box as somebody like Terry Nichols. Like, are you serious? You can't be serious. Because they know the average person can't think straight. Now, you mean to tell me, you look me in the face and tell me that they would let a terrorist bond out of jail 20,000 notes for something that was supposedly $2.5
2.5 million. And if I was to have broken in or stole 2.5 million worth of something, you mean to tell me my bond is only 20,000? And they would let me bond out? They would let me bond out, right? That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Is it necessary to go on the record to counter some of the claims that have been made by the corporate entities and their agents in order to abridge my rights, denationalize me, take matters into my own hands in order to expose the truth? Because I understand that these individuals that I'm up against and that we're all up against as an occupied nation, they don't sleep. They're night and day making sure they try to get their objectives accomplished. In this part 3 of Freedom or Death, that I am bringing a claim in the International Criminal Court at The Hague against all the actors named. For the record, that includes Wells Fargo, that includes all of the local county corporations that are operating within the geographic jurisdiction that I'm talking to you from, that I'm able to use this as an opportunity to potentially teach somebody else about standing up for, one, their constitution and their birthright. Now, the efforts of these low-level entities, that didn't scare me. It only made me go harder.
He was scaring the living daylights out of the then J. Edgar Hoover fledgling FBI, and they were monitoring him closely, but they were as frightened of him as they were frightened of riots that were breaking out in northern cities like Chicago and Detroit, where the black communities, Noble Drew Ali was pretty much based in Chicago, but where the black communities had enough, and they were revolting against the discrimination that had taken place. So he was a very powerful character, and he was a character of peace as well. He believed in following the Constitution, and he had a great demeanor about him and a very charismatic presence, and he was said to manifest healing and miracles. But what happened, he basically left his body because he said the burden on the Moorish people was too great. So he exited. He said he could do more from beyond this world.